you ask, how did we get here? Sun Tzu put it best, and Boris, being a military man, you've probably read The Art of War. He said, all warfare is based on deception, and he'll win who knows how to balk the enemy's plans without having to fight. All of us want to live, but then you have people throwing in FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and causing us to get off focus. And they have their own agendas. But, we got to this point of getting away from what our own main goal is, living, through misinformation.
We are getting our information from certain media sites, right? And I'm not going to say where, right? And you notice people behavior correlates where they get their information from.
We have people who do question things much more robustly, right? The reality is that I think to some extent, I have to take the blame as a public health person in the midst of all this, right? Which is, do I have a mechanism to be able to get that information out? And I think what we instead have right now is we have, like it or not, the news media as the major source of information. And there is that lack of connectivity of the trusting source out there, right? And that's why I emphasize the concept of the community, right? It could be the barber, the stylist, it could be the preacher. But I have to get to people that people trust ultimately, to get around, circumvent the media as the major source of information, where a person can say, hey, listen, I trust you. Tell me a little bit more about this.
You have to have an ongoing dialogue with people. You can't just come in all of a sudden, we got a crisis. Now I'm going to tell you, your trust is a calculated risk. It has to be some basis for the trust. And so we need to have an ongoing dialogue, and that's something that we don't have.